Hey guys, welcome back to another iGen video, and I cannot tell you how long I've waited to be able to say that. And when I was making this video, it actually wasn't intended to be a video. I was asked by a youth group to come and speak, and so I did that, and the message that I prepared there, I was like, hey, this would make a great iGen video because I think that more people need to hear this. But first, I'm gonna read a few verses, and all three of the verses that I'm about to read have one phrase in common, and I want you to tell me if you can find it. Now we're gonna be starting with Isaiah 41:10. Now this one's pretty popular, so you might have heard this one before. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Now I'm going to read another one. This time it's coming from Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 8. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. Now I got one more verse. This one you have definitely heard before. It's known as the Great Commission. I'm going to be reading from Matthew 28, verse 20. And teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you, and surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. Now maybe you found the phrase, maybe you didn't. I'll give you a little hint and go back and read all of them. Isaiah 41:10, so do not fear, for I am with you. Jeremiah 1, verse 8, do not be afraid of them, for I am with you. Matthew 28:20, and surely I am with you always. And why did I give these three verses? They all kind of have one common theme, where Jesus or God is telling the authors of these books or the disciples that he is with them, and by extension promising us, his people, that he is with us also. And the reason I chose these verses and the reason I chose to highlight that phrase is because it's become extremely applicable in my own life. Why? Because for the past 3 months, well, I haven't done so great. And what I mean by that is I haven't done so great spiritually. Now my prayer life, it hasn't been what it should have. And just as I stand here and make videos and present myself as, oh yeah, I'm preaching the gospel and I study the gospel, I'm not afraid to say, yeah, the past few months, I haven't been doing so great with my faith. But there's a reason that I tell you that. Because over the past 3 months, I've learned a really important lesson. And it's a lesson about conviction. Now, when I say the word conviction, you might know what I mean. You might be kind of familiar, might have no idea. So let me explain it a little bit. Conviction, in the sense that I'm using it, is that Holy Spirit conviction. Now, I know that that's a church term, that's a very Christianese, so you might not know what that means either. But it's basically that feeling of kind of like guilt, where you do something, or maybe you haven't been doing something, and you kind of feel a little tug at the heartstrings. Something telling you, hey, you shouldn't do that. Hey, you shouldn't have done that. Hey, you should be doing this. Now, for the past 3 months, I've felt it every way. I've definitely felt God tugging at my heart saying, hey, you should be praying more. And I've also felt God saying, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Now, the reason I make this motion is because it kind of feels like something's tugging at your heart. Something making you feel like, something is wrong here. Maybe something I'm doing is wrong. And not a lot of people talk about it because it's a pretty ugly feeling. And it's not one that we like to admit that we've had in the past. But what if I told you that that feeling also provides hope? Now, Jared, how could this feeling that almost feels like guilt provide any kind of hope? Well, let me go back to the verses that I read earlier. All three of them were God saying he is with us. And over the past 3 months, here's what I've learned. You see, in life, we always have a choice. Well, we make a lot of choices, but I'm talking about one specifically. You see, the Bible talks about a straight and narrow road, a path that not many people take. And you see, we have a choice every single day to make decisions that'll draw us closer to God, which end up being the harder decisions. That's why it's called the straight and narrow. But then there's a much wider path as well, the path that many people take, where it's not a pursuit of God. But here's the thing. You see, even if we make the wrong choice and we go down that path, here's the hopeful part about it. You see, what I've learned in the past 3 months is that even though I've gone down that second path, God never gave up on me. And the reason why I said that conviction is also a feeling that can give us hope is because of this. If we feel that tug by the Holy Spirit, if we feel God saying, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, then yes, that means we're doing something wrong. But that also means that God is not giving up on you either. You see, if you felt that conviction in your life, I recommend that you go and change something, but you don't have to do it alone because God promises us He is with us. And how do I know that? I know that from the Bible, but I know that because He has been knocking at my heart saying, I'm here with you. What I've learned is that feeling of conviction shows us this, that God has not given up on us, that God is not giving up on us, and God will not give up on us. That's why it's a hopeful feeling. Because yes, even if we go down this wrong path, God will come after us. But that's only half the story. Jared, what do you mean? Let me tell you the other half. This time I'm going to be picking a verse from Revelation 3, verse 20. This is Jesus speaking. Here I am. I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person, and they with me. Let me read another verse, this time from Galatians 5:17. For the flesh craves what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with each other. Now, like I said before, God chasing after us, God not giving up on us, that's only half the story. And here's the other half. What we learned from those two verses is that we have a choice to make. And this is the same choice, the same concept as that straight and narrow road that I was talking about earlier. It's the harder path, but it's the one that we're called to choose. But what this verse in Revelation is talking about is Jesus. He's not saying, I am with you, not saying I will be with you. He's saying, I am here. I am here right now with you. And what is He doing? He's not coming to the door of our heart, that metaphorical door of our heart. He's not coming in and picking the lock. He's not coming in and kicking it down. Because He stands at the door and knocks. Why? Because it's our choice to let Him in. And why did I read the other verse from Galatians? Well, it provided a really interesting insight. For the flesh craves what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the flesh. You know what that means? It means that we can't be standing in the middle. We can't be that lukewarm water. We can't have the best of both sides and leave the consequences. No, it means that we have to choose one. Why? Because they're in direct conflict with each other. And that's pretty hard to hear, because it means if we're not choosing God, if we're not choosing the desires of the Spirit that needs God, then we're choosing the desires of the flesh. And as we read in the Bible, that's another way to say sin. And like I said, that's hard to hear. But that choice to choose between one or the other, it's still on the table. Why? Because His mercies are new every morning. Which means that even if yesterday you made the wrong choice, today you can make a new decision. Tomorrow, a new decision after that. The next most important decision that you're going to make is the next one. So ladies and gentlemen, with the choice on the table, with the desires of the flesh, with the desires of the Spirit, with God chasing after you, but when He's with you, when He's here, He knocks on the door, what will you choose Now, if you look back in my channel, the most recent video I posted was almost 3 months ago. And I know, I'm sorry. But the reason that I haven't posted is because actually my family has moved. Yes, we are in a different house, and that's exactly what I've been doing for the past 3 months. It's been a long process. It's been a pretty difficult process, definitely ones with ups and downs, and that's why I haven't posted for the last few weeks. However, as we settle into the new house and as I finally have a film wall, I am so ready to start posting YouTube videos once again. But now that we're back, I don't plan to only post YouTube videos. As you know, before I went on break, I made an Instagram, TikTok, and another YouTube channel, a shorts channel. We're going to be posting bite-sized versions of these bigger iGen videos. So I definitely recommend that you go check those out after this video. And before you comment, oh, the lighting's off, oh, the audio's off, I know, there's probably going to be a few problems for a few videos here as I get back into the swing of things, as well as adjust to this new setting and equipment. But as soon as I get my feet back on the ground, I cannot wait to be uploading consistently and get those quality videos back at you every single Saturday. Now, if you want to know what you can do next. Now, a lot of my videos I give some inspirational message and usually the emotions are running high, but if you want to know a practical thing that you can do next, pray about it. That's the most simple thing to do, but it's 100% true. Now I know that you've heard this in Sunday school, but I'm honestly saying pray about it. Start that prayer life, because the desires of the Spirit, if we want to choose that, let me give you a hint. The desire is Jesus, because that's how we're made. So pray. Talk to Jesus. And also, on one more side note, before the break, I was talking about maybe opening up a bit of a merch store. Now, I kind of did that, except it's not exactly a merchandise store for the YouTube channel. It's just a separate Christian apparel store. However, it's open, as you can tell by this sweet looking hoodie that I'm wearing right now. It's also super comfortable, by the way. One of my favorite designs, his name is Jesus. Now, if you're wearing this, there is no doubt about what you stand for. And so if you see them in my videos and you're like, I want to wear that too, go check out the link in the description. You can pick one up for yourself. But for now, that's all I got. This is the official end of the video. I'm so glad to be back in business. Can't wait to come back to you next week with some more content. But for now, that's all I got. Peace.